Alright, what's up guys, this is Jake, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how you can set up SMS marketing for your Shopify store. SMS is another way that you can get in touch with your customers other than the most common method, which is email. So SMS is definitely something that's been used a lot more nowadays, and it's very effective because more people read text messages than they do open emails nowadays. So we're going to go ahead and show you how you can set this up in this video. So to set this up, we're going to be using an app called Yotpo SMSbump. So we can see that this app here over in the App Store has over 2,000 reviews and close to a 5-star rating. So this is a very good app to use for your SMS marketing. And I will go ahead and leave a link to Yotpo SMSbump in the description, so you can go ahead and open that up, install it on your store, and follow along step by step with this video. So with that said, once you go ahead and install Yotpo SMSbump to your store, go ahead and open up the app. You're going to be brought to this screen right here. So we can see that we can choose to set up just SMS marketing, or we can set up email and SMS cross-channel marketing right here. So in this case, I'm just going to start out with SMS, and if you want to also use it for email, I'll show you how to do that later. We're going to go ahead and start with just SMS here. So in this case, we just have to go ahead and fill out this information. So I went ahead and put in a Google Voice phone number here, and then we can go ahead and just choose which category our store is in right here, and then click on next. And we can see right here that we have a couple of options to set up automated marketing right here. So we can have an abandoned cart flow. So what this does is this will remind customers about items they left behind to boost your abandoned cart recovery rate. So very similar to the abandoned cart emails, if you're familiar with those, except this is going to be a text message instead. And then we have the post-purchase upsell flow here, which offers customers a discount after a recent purchase to try and get them to repurchase once again. So your standard post-purchase upsell, except via text. And then we have the customer win-back flow here, which brings inactive customers back to your store with exclusive discounts. So someone that has bought a product from you, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, they're going to receive this particular flow right here, and you're trying to get them to come back to your store and buy something else. So by default, all 3 of these are going to be enabled. So I'm going to just go ahead and keep them as enabled, but I'll show you how to go more in depth on these a bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and click next here, and we can see that now we need to go ahead and select how we're going to collect our SMS subscribers. So we can see here that we're going to try and turn site visitors into subscribers with a personalized pop-up that matches our brand. And then adding a pop-up here can help us collect 4 times more subscribers than with just the checkout opt-in. So this is going to be the preview of what our pop-ups actually going to look like on our store here. We can go ahead and edit the color scheme and branding here for this pop-up. So what you want to go ahead and do is just go ahead and make it match the branding for your store. So in this case, what I'm going to go ahead and do is come over here to my theme here, and I'm going to just take this theme accent, which is pretty much the main color I'm using here in this demo store, and I'm going to change the button color to that. And then I'm also going to change the heading text color to that as well. And then I'm going to change the body text to black, since that is the body text here on the rest of the site. So this goes ahead and matches our branding a lot more. So now once we've gone ahead and set this up, we can go ahead and just click on publish. And then now we can go ahead and edit our welcome message here. So we can see that 74% of customers expect a welcome as soon as they sign up for your list. So this is pretty standard, especially for SMS here. So we can see that by default, we have this default message that says thanks for subscribing to, and then our site name right here, list. We're excited to have you shop here at our site, and then stop to go ahead and opt out. And if we click on preview message here, we can see what it actually looks like on somebody's phone. So we can go in here and customize this message if we want. So if you have something custom that you want to put in here for your specific brand, you can do that. And then we have some short codes down here as well. So like first name, site URL. And then we have discount codes right here. So let's say we wanted to edit this and just add in like hello and then first name, and then we preview this, and then we can see here, hello name, thanks for subscribing to our store's email list. So that's how you can go ahead and edit that right here. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just click finish. And now we are done with the initial setup, and we are now brought into the actual main dashboard of Yotpo SMSbump. Alright, so once you're on the dashboard here, there's just going to be one other thing we need to set up to finish our initial setup. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to jump over to our store dashboard here, and I'm going to jump over here to settings, and then I'm going to come down here to checkout, and I'm going to scroll down, and right here we just need to make sure that we enable SMS marketing here. So right now I've already checked that off, so you just need to go ahead and check that off, click save, and then we can see here that to collect SMS consent you need to set up terms of service and privacy policy. So you would just go ahead and open this up right here, and you can see that I already have some of the policies filled out here, but you just want to make sure that within one of your terms of service or privacy policies that you're including some text that shows details about your text marketing. So right here I've went ahead and used this text right here, which I've gotten from the Yotpo SMSbump customer support. So you just paste this in right here. I'll go ahead and leave this text in the description as well, or you can go ahead and just message Yotpo customer support right here, and they will give it to you, and then you go ahead and just click save, and then you are good to go. And once this is set up, if you come over here to your checkout page, you'll notice that it's going to show up right here. So we can see text me with news and offers. We click on this here, and then we can see we can enter our phone number, and then we can see that here we have this default text right here. By signing up via text, you agree to receive messages. And now I'm going to quickly show you how you can go ahead and change this if you want to. So if we come back over here to our store, and I go ahead and close this out, and if we go to online store themes, and then we click on actions and come down here to edit languages, and then we come over here to the right to checkout and system, and then I'm going to filter out for SMS, click enter, and we can come down here and we can see checkout marketing SMS disclaimer here. So we can see that this is the text, the description HTML that is showing up right here by signing up via text. We can see by signing up via text right here. So if we wanted to customize this, we could put in custom text right here, like if you wanted to put in your store name or something like that. And then we can see the checkout marketing text me with news and offers. That's what shows up right here. So we can go ahead and change that text to something else if you wanted to as well. So once we've set that up, we are good to go. We can come over here, and now we are going to be compliant. So we can go ahead and click mark as completed, and yes, I confirm, and then we are pretty much good to go. Alright, so now that we're all set up, we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at the app and how we can go ahead and set up different things. So right here we're on the dashboard here, so this is just going to show us a bunch of different data. Obviously it's not showing anything right now because we haven't begun using the app yet, but once you start actually sending out SMS campaigns, you're going to start seeing different things like your revenue, your ROI, your total orders, and the amount of money that you spent. You can see a bunch of different graphs and data right here as well. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to head over here to this menu on the left, and we're going to kind of just run through all of the different functionality that you can use inside of the app. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the campaign planner. So what this does is this kind of just allows you to go ahead and create new campaigns based on like upcoming holidays and things like that with relative ease. You can see we have Memorial Day here coming up on May 12th, and then we have all of these other holidays right here. We can see that they have even a bunch of like smaller holidays that I've never heard of before, like Apple Pie Day and Sunscreen Day, but all of the major dates are going to be showing up on here. And what you can go ahead and do is you can use a lot of these pre-made templates to go ahead and create campaigns to send out to your subscribers. So let's say we were to look at Memorial Day early access. If we click on like customize and schedule here, it's going to bring us to this screen right here. And if I were to click on create campaign, we can see right here that the campaign name is already auto-filled in with Memorial Day Early Access. We can go ahead and choose our target audience right here. So by default, it's set to all tech subscribers, but we can choose specific segments or lists, which we'll be getting into a little bit later, going over exactly what these are. And we can see that by picking a campaign from the campaign planner, everything's pretty much filled out already. So the text is already filled out here. So we can see it says, hey, first name. The countdown to Memorial Day starts with our exclusive sale, and then use discount code for value off site-wide, and then you have the discount code URL right here. So obviously you can come in here and edit this text message just like we did prior. So like always, whenever you're creating any type of campaign, you can go in here and make the text say whatever you want, and you can use these different short codes down here as well. So the editing process is very easy, and we can see right here that we can go ahead and schedule this message for later, and we can go ahead and choose the date and time that we want this message to go ahead and go out. And since this was a pre-made campaign from the campaign planner, this is already scheduled to go out the day of the holiday. And then down here there's the smart sending option, which if we enable it here, we can see the subscribers who've received a text in the last 16 hours will not receive your campaign. So this essentially means that subscribers won't be getting spammed. So if they've received a text recently, they're not going to receive another one. But you can go ahead and disable this if you want to go ahead and have all subscribers receive your campaign instead. So another thing that you can go ahead and do in here when it comes to the text messages is you can go ahead and click on browse templates here, and you can see that there's a few different templates here for holiday events. There's a bunch of different templates here for if you guys are having a sale. See that there's templates here for product launches as well, and there's some SMS only templates as well. And then you can go ahead and browse through all of the templates at once. So you'll notice that a lot of the stuff inside of Yotpo SMSbump is actually already pre-made for you. Now obviously you're going to want to go in and do some customization to make everything suit your brand. So if we wanted to go ahead and set up this Memorial Day campaign, all we do is just click on review campaign here, and you can see right here that it would say that there is a discount present in the message, which is not properly configured. So we'd have to go ahead and set up the discount. So we can see, please set up the discount before sending. So if we click on setup right here, we can go ahead and set up this particular discount. So this discount type can be a percentage, and we can make it 10% off. And then the discount URL could just be the home page, or if we wanted to link them to a specific product or collection page, we could go ahead and put that URL in right here, and then you just click on apply. And now if we came back down to review campaign, you can see that it's saying campaign recipients must be greater than 0, and that's specifically because we don't have any subscribers yet. But if we did, then we'd be able to set up this campaign right here. And if you wanted to go ahead and create a campaign from scratch, you could do that just by going back to SMS campaigns, clicking create campaign, and then right here we can kind of enter our own campaign name here. We can choose our target audience once again, and then by default we can see we have this basic text message here that just says this is a link to your store. So what we want to go ahead and do is fill in this text with pretty much whatever we want, and everything else would be the same. We could schedule it for later, or we could send it out now. We can enable or disable smart sending. And if we wanted to go ahead and set this campaign up, I'm going to go ahead and just name it test campaign here. And one other thing that we can do is enable A/B testing. So if I open this up here, we can see that we can create a couple of different groups here. So we can see we can go anywhere from 2 to 5 groups, and we can see that we'll have the different groups right here. And after you choose the number of test groups, you can choose the size of the test group here. So the percentage of your list that the test message is going to go out to. You can choose how long the test period is going to last, and then you can go ahead and choose the winning metric, which is the metric that you are trying to base the A/B test on. So if you want the most successful campaign to be determined by link clicks, orders, or revenue, you can go ahead and choose that here. So this is a very useful feature as well if you want to split test a different copy to see which text is going to work the best. And another cool thing you can do when you're creating a SMS campaign is you can actually send people directly from the text message to the checkout page, so you don't have to send them back to your store or even send them to a product page. You can send them directly to the checkout page with the product already in their cart. So this is going to convert a lot higher in a lot of cases because it's going to be a lot less friction. People click a button and they're already ready to check out. So you can do that by using this short code here, the click to buy. So we can see here when the message is sent, this short code is going to be replaced with a direct link to your store's checkout page with selected products. So this means that they're going to be sent straight to the checkout page with these products already in the cart and they're ready to check out instantly. So if you go ahead and click on this short code here, we're going to be able to add products into this particular message. So let's say I want to just go ahead and add in these 2 products. Click next. You can go ahead and include the product GIF that showcases your product. So if you have multiple products, you can see here that it's going to have a GIF of both of these products right here. Or if we were to disable that, we can see that it goes away. So you can choose whether or not you want to go ahead and use the GIF that showcases your products, and then we can go ahead and include a discount as well. So let's say we wanted to give the customer 25% off on both of these products in a bundle here. We could go ahead and click apply, and we can see that now, just like that, this is automatically going to be added to our message here. So whenever we send out this message, customers are going to be able to click on this product and be taken directly to the checkout page with these products in their cart. But in this case, I'm just going to review this campaign here just so we can see what it looks like when we go ahead and get ready to send the campaign. So it's going to show us our campaign overview here. So we're going to see who it's sending to, when we're sending it, whether smart sending is enabled, our link call to action. Then we can see US subscribers will receive this SMS. And then we're going to have our campaign data here. And then if we wanted to go ahead and send it, we can go ahead and click on send now. So right here is pending messages. So this is where you'll have any messages that are pending right here. And then right here, we're going to have scheduled campaigns. So if you have a campaign scheduled for a date in the future, it's going to show up right here. And then lastly, we have drafts. So this is if we've saved a campaign draft, but we haven't actually published it yet, it will show up right here. So the next section we're going to look at here is the flows and automations here. So inside of here is where you can edit what's called your flows. So flows are essentially going to be like a funnel. So if a certain trigger happens, then you can set up a certain action to happen in response to that trigger. And you can make this multifaceted and multi-layered by setting up like multiple triggers and multiple responses. So we can see here by default we have 11 flows that comes with our account. So if we went ahead and just opened up, let's say, the welcome flow here by clicking edit, we can see that it's going to load up here, and we can see that the trigger here is going to be a new subscriber confirmation. So this is just whenever somebody subscribes. So we can see configure the text message customers will receive after they subscribed based on the subscription source. So in this case, it's going to trigger when we get a new subscriber, and then it's going to check if the list of available subscription sources is not equal to my first pop-up. So essentially, anytime that somebody would subscribe to your SMS list through any medium other than your pop-up that you have created, they're going to be sent this text right here. So we can see that if this was true, then they're going to be sent this text. But if they did subscribe through our pop-up, then they're just going to jump to the end of the flow right here. So we could go ahead and click on this text right here if we wanted to edit it. So the editing process is just like before. We can edit the text and use these different shortcodes. So we can see that by default, it's going to say, thanks for subscribing to our list. We're excited to have you here. And then just a shop here link to our store. So we can see that's what one flow looks like right here. We could take a look at a different one. So we can see the pop-up right here flow is different. So this is the same thing here. So it triggers when we get a new subscriber. However, it checks if our subscription source is equal to our pop-up. So this is going to be the message that people will receive every time they sign up to our pop-up. So we can go ahead and click on this, and we can see this message right here. So if you're wondering why there may be two separate welcome messages, it could be because your pop-up could have something like sign up for our list for 10% off, and maybe your other subscription sources don't have that. So in that case, this text message here for when people sign up to the pop-up would go ahead and give like a 10% discount code, for example. So that's pretty much how flows work, and we can see that by default we have 4 that are active, and then we have other ones right here that you can go ahead and activate as well. So like if we went ahead and looked at this abandoned cart flow, for example, we could load it up and we can see that the trigger would be an abandoned checkout, and you add in a delay, so you wait 15 minutes, and we can see that if the country name is equal to the US, then they would be sent this text right here. See that then if the country name is equal to one of these specific countries, they will be sent this text right here, and then it will wait 24 hours. And then if they made an order in that 24 hours, then they will be taken out of the flow. But if they did not make an order, they will be sent another follow-up message here. And we can see that this default abandoned cart flow is pretty complex because it's set up based on different countries. So we can see right here that if this is one of these countries, we can see that it's sending out text in a different language. So we can see here that this is a pretty complex flow. So it's a good example of how complex you can actually build out one of these flows. So if you go ahead and actually take a lot of time, you can go ahead and make very complex flows here based on multiple different triggers that give you a bunch of different paths. So if I were to go ahead and zoom out, we can actually see what this looks like here, that this flow actually gets pretty complex and pretty big, but it's actually pretty simple when you actually break it down step by step. But that just goes to show what you can go ahead and create when you're using flows right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and back out and show you how you can go ahead and create your own flow. So if you want, you could go ahead and just activate these different flows in here. So you could go in here and just click on edit to see what the flow actually is and see if you want to use it, and then you could come here and make it active if you want to activate it. So let's say I activate it right here. Now this one is on. But let's say we wanted to create our own flow. We could go up here and click create flow, and we can see that there's going to be a bunch of different suggested flows right here, or we can go ahead and just create our own. So if I go ahead and click that, what we have to do first is choose a trigger. So we have a bunch of different options for the triggers right here, but in this particular case, I'll click on order created. So this triggers after the customer places an order right here. And then we could go ahead and choose to add a condition, add an action, or add a delay. So let's say I'll add a delay. So we will set up the delay for, let's say, 20 minutes. So 20 minutes after somebody places an order, we could go ahead and add a step in here, and we'll add an action. And the action could go ahead and be to send an SMS message. And then this SMS message could contain a additional upsell, let's say after this. So if we wanted to go ahead and send an additional upsell, we could just edit this text in here. Could add in a discount code for 20%. So we're trying to bring this customer back to buy something else after they just bought something from our store recently. So that could be one example flow that you could create right there. And we can see that creating that flow is very easy. Just go ahead and click save, and then the test flow is pretty much done. So going back again to the flows list, that's how we can create a custom flow ourselves. And we can also come down here to use predefined flows. So if we view the flows library here, we can see all of the different flows, once again, that we could go ahead and use if we wanted to create one that was already set up. So once again, that's the cool thing about this app, is a lot of the stuff is already set up for us. So we really don't have to go in and create everything from scratch. We just have to go edit the text a little bit to make it a little bit more custom to our branding. And then coming down here to automations, this is essentially just going to be a less complex version of flows. So it's a more simplified version of flows here. So we can see we have the abandoned cart reminder, customer welcome message, win back, cross sell. We have a bunch of different ones right here. And if we click on edit, we can go ahead and see that we have the options to go ahead and build this out right here. So we can delay this message by 30 minutes. We can edit the message, add in the short codes, just like we have been editing before. So we can see that automations are essentially just simpler versions of flows. So if you find the flows too confusing, you can just use the automation instead. but the flows are definitely pretty easy to use once you get used to it, and especially because a lot of them are already built out. So the next thing we're going to look at here is the chat. So this is if we want to go ahead and enable a live chat feature. So you are going to have to upgrade from the free plan to be able to enable live chat. This just allows you to respond to customer text messages right here, so you can actually chat with customers or set up your customer support to chat with customers. So that's a pretty cool feature that you can go ahead and enable right there. The next section here is lists and segments. So this is what we were talking about earlier, where you have different segments. So we have pre-made segments right here, and we can go ahead and see that we have a bunch of different segments that Yotpo SMSbump has created for us, like potential buyers, active buyers, repeat buyers. And if we don't know what certain ones of these segments represent, we click on view definition here. So potential buyers are classified as somebody that abandoned an order in the last week, and they also placed an order in the last year, and they have not ordered in the last week. So when it comes to these different segments, what makes this useful here is this allows us to target very specific people with specific marketing messages. So if someone is a potential buyer, we may want to send them a different campaign than a campaign that we'd send to a repeat buyer, for example, because a repeat buyer is going to be someone that's way more likely to continue buying because they've already bought multiple times. So this allows us to go ahead and segment our list and fine-tune our marketing campaigns in here. So we have a bunch that are already created by default, and if you want to go ahead and create your own, you can just go ahead and click on create new, create a segment, and you can go ahead and just name it right here. And then you can go ahead and select the filter based on a bunch of these different behaviors. So we can see we can create a segment based on the amount of money spent, number of orders, placed an order. There's a lot of different options here. We have customer attributes here on the customer's gender, their account status. We can go ahead and create a segment based on their location, like what country they're from, their order info. There's a lot of different things that we can go ahead and do. We can create segments based on email actions, so people that have opened our most recent emails, people that have not opened our recent emails. So there's a lot of different segments that we can create, and then we can tailor specific marketing campaigns to those segments. So this is pretty cool as well to know how to use. And then if we come down here to subscribers, firstly we can see our entire list of subscribers by looking at this page right here, and this is just a Google Voice number I used to sign up for the list for the sake of the demo here. And then if we come over here to collect subscribers, this is how we can go ahead and grow our subscriber list. So there's going to be a lot of different tools that we can actually use here. So if I click on show all, we can see that there is actually 8 different things that we can use to go ahead and grow our subscriber list. So we'll run through these pretty quick. So we can see that we can use a pop-up here. So we can see that we can go ahead and have a branded pop-up. And this is probably the most common way that you're going to be collecting subscribers right here, is through a pop-up. So we can see that this accounts for over 50% of collected subscribers here. So if you wanted to use a pop-up, you could just click on create, and then we have this editor right here. So this is what the pop-up is going to look like on our store. So you can just select a theme here if you want. So we can click on different themes. We can pick one that matches our store if we want, and you can go ahead and click to edit any of this text right here. You can go ahead and click on the form itself, and we can change this main image here. So if we wanted to remove this image, we could change it to something that fits our brand. We can change this background color right here to fit our branding as well, and then we can go ahead and edit the text. So this editing is going to be very similar to how you would go ahead and edit anything within your Shopify store, so you should already be very familiar with this right here. So we can see that this is our email form right here. If we clicked on next, then we have this is our text form, so signing up for SMS. Then we have our essentially the quick thank you page after somebody puts in their phone number. And then lastly, we have this pop-up that turns into this floating button down here. So if they close out of the pop-up, then it will turn to this button. So whenever we scroll up or down, this button will always be here. and they can click on it to go ahead and bring the pop-up back up. So coming back out here, we can see that the next thing we can do here is use a keyword here. So we can see that we can promote keywords across our marketing channels that customers can text to easily opt in. So you can go ahead and create essentially a keyword. So you could just create like a keyword of hello. If they texted hello to a certain number, then they would automatically be subscribed to your list. So you've probably seen a lot of big brands use this before. So they say like text some certain word to a specific number to get a discount or whatever. So this is something that a lot of brands use. So this is definitely something that you could get really creative with to use in your marketing to get people to opt in to your SMS list. And then right here, we can promote via social media. So we can see right here that we can create a specific opt-in for our social channels here. So you could go ahead and create a one-click opt-in for, let's say, Instagram here. So we can see here on Instagram stories, your Instagram followers can opt in directly from a story just by clicking on the link there. And then you can go ahead and include this link on other social media like YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So this is a pretty cool way to get subscribers as well, especially if you have a large social media following for your brand. They also allow you to set up a QR code. So if you are a physical business or if you're using flyers or anything like type of physical branding material, you can go ahead and have people scan a QR code to go ahead and sign up for your list that way. So that's how you can go ahead and do that right here. The floating button is like we saw earlier, so we can see that it says join our text VIP club right here. So we can see that that is just going to be the small button that stays on the screen as you scroll up and down, where people can click on it and go ahead and sign up. But if we have the pop-up set up, we can see that that automatically comes with a floating button as well. We can have an embedded form here, so we can go ahead and create our own form and embed it on any page that we want. So we would edit this form the same way we'd edit everything else that we have so far in this video, and then you can go ahead and embed this on any page. You can create a custom sign-up page if you want. So if you want to create like a complete landing page to send people to get them to opt in to your list, you can do that here by creating the sign-up page. And then lastly, you can go ahead and add in a call to action here on your footer. So there's a bunch of different themes here that you can go in and edit, just like we would edit everything else, and you can have people opt in to your SMS list from this call to action on your footer. So there's a lot of different options here that you can use to collect subscribers for your list. So I would recommend going through these different ones and seeing which ones fit best for your store. But the pop-up is definitely going to be the most common one that everyone's going to be using. So moving on from this here, we have the analytics section. So this is where all of our analytics will show up once you actually start gathering data and everything. We can see right here that it isn't loading right now because I don't have any data. But once you have data, this is where all of that will show up. You can see your analytics for campaigns. You can see your analytics for flows, automations, subscribers, and you can also go ahead and generate reports for subscribers, unsubscribers, campaign performance, flows, and SMS revenue. This is where you can go ahead and set up a bunch of different integrations. So Yotpo SMSbump does integrate with a lot of different apps right here. So you can go ahead and integrate them right in here if you want. And then lastly here, if we jump into these settings, this is where we can go ahead and edit our general settings here. So we can edit our payment settings. We can edit the branding for our store. We can edit our email, so we can see what email our emails are going to be sent from. We can edit our chat settings right here by enabling or disabling it, etc., etc. So with that said, that's how you can go ahead and set up SMS marketing for your Shopify store using the Yotpo SMSbump app. So be sure to check out Yotpo SMSbump by clicking the first link in the description down below. And with that said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.